Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the Briarcrest Christian School Student Ministries podcast. My name is Jason Ellis. I am the Director of Student Ministries here at Briarcrest, and myself and Jack Oliver are so excited that you have decided to join us today as we're going to sit down, we're going to have a conversation with the upcoming Commissioner of Student Activities about his vision for the year, about what the Lord's been doing in his heart, and just kind of how the Lord has brought him to this place. So, Jack, welcome to the podcast. How are you today?
You. I'm doing well. It's hot outside. It's hot outside.
It is, but hey, there's air conditioning in this room, so we're good with that.
For that.
Now, one of the things I didn't know about Jack, and I'm going to get him to elaborate on a little bit, is that Jack has been at Briarcrest for, you said 13 years?
13 years. I believe 14 whenever I graduate, I guess.
Okay, so you're going to be a member of the 14-year club.
Yes.
Okay, so thinking back to elementary school, what's your favorite year?
I liked second grade. That was a good year.
Who's your teacher?
I had Miss Feenup. I think she's still here.
She is.
So yeah, I loved it.
So second grade was just kind of like the pinnacle of elementary.
It was good.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. My oldest daughter's going into second grade, so I'm glad that she's about to have the year of her life.
Yes,
Okay, so Jack, just talking to you guys, I'd love to get the backstory as to how you ended up like being one of the leaders of our school this year, because for your incoming freshmen, your rising sophomores, they're going to see you in kind of your form, for lack of a better word, now, in your position now. But what were you like, elementary, middle school, Briarcrest student? What was that Jack Oliver like?
Well, elementary school, I definitely was really shy. I mean, I was not as outgoing as I am today, and I just didn't like to reach out. I wasn't the person that was like someone spoke to me first. I didn't speak up. So I definitely was the person that was more quiet, and now I definitely have grown out of that and more outgoing. And
Well, okay, so what happened? Because it's interesting because you're Commissioner of Student Activities. So just by way of understanding, for people who might be aware you're on student government but not know what the specific position does, what are just some of the things that you are, I guess, in charge of, overseeing, casting vision for during the school year?
Well, for Commissioner of Student Activities, you're the person that plans the themes for homecoming week, and you work with administration and the rest of the student council to help plan the pep rallies, and then also basketball themes and football themes for Friday night. So you help kind of with that, and just kind of you're the more pumped up, more out there person in the.
So by your own words, you've gone from being shy kid who never initiated a conversation to the one who is out there, organizing pep rallies.
Up front.
Yeah. How did that happen?
I mean, I don't know. I definitely feel like coming into freshman year. I told you before, I was shy. I mean, I didn't know what I was going to do, what I was going to, just what the next 4 years would look like. And so I definitely had lots of open-minded, I guess I was very open-minded about everything I went into. And didn't think that I'd have as much responsibility as I am right now.
Well, and I think that's interesting because you probably look back on freshman year and just see it as kind of a very kind of crazy, confusing time. Things are coming at you real fast, right? There's just a lot happening that year. I remember meeting you. We would go and
running.
Yeah,
every day.
Distance runner right here. Yeah. He always had a good time.
Yes.
But just for our freshmen that are coming in and maybe trying to look for their place in the school. What would you say to them? Because you were that freshman, and now you are the student government position that is out there kind of being creative, funny, goofy, in a good way, not in kind of a demeaning way, but trying to get people involved. What would you say to the freshmen who might be coming in kind of with your kind of demeanor?
I definitely say God always has something for you, and there's always something set aside for you, and I believe He puts you in positions and, situations to try new things and just to get out there. And it's, like exactly what Lawson and Leslie said. I mean, do not just sign up for 3 clubs. Get out there. Try everything and anything, and just get a taste of everything and what you like, and just, find what you love and stick to it.
So besides distance running at track, what is one thing that you are so thankful you signed up for that you maybe were very hesitant about at first?
I'm really involved in student ambassadors, and I actually didn't really think about doing it, but now I'm the president of student ambassadors. So I mean, coming from, oh, I didn't really want to sign up for this. I mean, Leslie came up to me the day that sign-ups were, and she was like, hey, you should do student ambassadors. I was like, okay, why not? It doesn't hurt. So I went and signed up, and I've done it since, and I love it. I love, meeting all these new people, prospective families, and just, getting to show my personality.
Yeah, well, and I think too, okay, so being an ambassador, that's one of the big things that is your job is when we have an open house, prospective family comes in, you tour them around. So you're talking about Briarcrest a lot, right? Like you're showing them classrooms and the gym and the Sparks and fields and whatnot, right? Okay, so what is one of the things that you're just appreciative of your time here at Briarcrest? Like if I'm a prospective family and I'm thinking about bringing my kid here, like what's something that Briarcrest has meant to you, something that you've been able to do at Briarcrest that you think is special, something like that?
Briarcrest has endless opportunities, and you will hear from almost any student. The teachers and administration here are the best. I remember a couple of years ago, I was in Miss Fergus's class, and I told her I was really anxious about my grandfather, and she stopped the class and prayed for me. And so that's a good example to just show you how much these teachers care for you, and they're there for you, and they're going to set aside a time for you. So
what would you say to the person who maybe they kind of want to have an older person in their life pouring into them, just in a situation maybe like that where they just can go to somebody and ask for prayer, but they're afraid to, I don't know, be a little bit vulnerable. Yeah, to reach out. What would you say to the person about, it doesn't even have to be like a Briarcrest specific faculty person, but just somebody who's like, man, I've got a lot on my heart, the pandemic's been tough, or something like that. They want somebody kind of in their corner. What would you say to them?
I definitely say you're not alone in anything you're doing. We're all hand in hand in what you're going through. And I can say that all 6 of us in Student Council are here for you. There's D groups that you could sign up for. That's really good. I'm leading one this year. So it's, there's always someone there to talk to you, and don't be scared because, we were in your position once.
Sure,
so.
Well, and I think the thing that you're getting at too that just triggered in my mind was maybe you reach out to somebody and you don't get that kind of reciprocation you wanted. That doesn't mean that everybody would treat you like that, right? It doesn't. So if you reach out to maybe an upperclassman that doesn't reciprocate and seem to take an interest, go find somebody else. There's 600 people at this school.
So many people.
Okay.
Everyone's here.
So favorite Spirit Week theme day. So you've been here for 13 years. Yes. You've been through a lot of homecoming weeks, a lot of themed days. Favorite one, or at least the first one that comes to mind?
The first one that comes to mind that I want to do again this year was Celebrity Day or Character Day. So many people were very creative with it, and it's lots of pop culture type things. So it was really good to see all those people just dressed up as celebrities that I listened to on Apple Music. So it's that was really cool. I liked that one. That was my favorite.
So you're gonna have a Celebrity Day. Let's just say hypothetically you're gonna do that. Who are you dressing up as? The Commissioner of Student Activities has to dress up as somebody.
Yes, of course.
Who are you gonna dress up as?
I'd probably dress up as I don't know. Someone last year dressed up as Ed Sheeran. I don't know if that's how you say his last name, but people have been known to call me a ginger and have red or auburn hair. So I'd like to do that. That'd be funny.
I could see that. Yeah. Okay. So the first person that comes to mind for me is Jonathan Bernhardt. So I would just for Celebrity Day. My boy, Coach Bernhardt. But no, that's actually easy. You just get his name tag. You don't even have to really. Yeah. But okay. What's another day that stands out to you besides Celebrity Day?
This is one that whenever in the campaign someone told me about this, and it was future job day or future occupation day. There's probably been some sort of that, and I kind of want to do that because, I mean, it's endless. I mean, you could do anything with that.
Absolutely.
So I like that idea, and it's creative. So
For sure.
yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about pep rallies. What do you want to do to put the pep in the pep rally? Y'all see what I did there? That was good. Yeah. Okay, so what do you want to do to put the pep in the pep rally?
I definitely want, well, obviously more involvement. I mean, I was telling you beforehand, I mean, sometimes people will walk in there and they're like, oh, a pep rally, great. So I definitely want more, or something to look forward to. Like, like maybe advertise something that we're going to do in the pep rally that people like. Just something along those lines, maybe more fun game. I don't know, more music. We were talking about Sparks Chapel.
Yeah.
And, you can play music in there, blast it as loud as you can. And, I mean, they made it rain there. So,
That's true. They
so
did.
What
They
else?
did make it rain in
know.
Sparks. So it's just kind of keeping it open-ended, trying to get some ideas, trying to get some more participation. And hey, just to make you feel better, there are plenty of people who walk into chapels on Monday morning and feel the exact same, oh, chapel. But hey, it's always good to be in chapel. Welcome to chapel. Okay, now looking forward to this year. It'll look different one way or another, just because we're still in the midst of the COVID-19 craziness. Just for the person who is still struggling kind of maybe with loneliness or just kind of trying to get their footing in what feels like an ever-changing environment when it comes to new regulations, new rules, precautions. Maybe you felt this way, maybe you haven't, but just what's a word of encouragement to an underclassman who might be looking at you and being like, hey, Jack, how have you navigated just kind of the craziness of the past 5 months and, what promises to be at least a slightly different looking year?
Mm-hmm. I definitely feel like everyone's experience was different. Like people liked being out of school, some people didn't. But I just definitely feel like, having someone there right beside you. I mean, even if it's like a teacher or just anyone, but just having someone accountable of, how y'all are feeling, talking about it, and like I said, like D groups. I mean, like it's not even. I'm not just saying like for the leaders, but like it's a small group of guys or girls together, and I mean it's y'all can talk it out, and I mean, with anything you do at Briarcrest, I mean you can just still find someone like
For sure.
So
Yeah, and I think it's a part of what you're saying is don't silo yourself. Like don't find yourself alone because it's kind of like loneliness can cause us to do that. We feel lonely, so we cut ourselves off from people, so we feel even more lonely, so we keep cutting ourselves off from people. And it's like you kind of got to break that.
Yeah.
All right, so just kind of thinking back on the last 5 months, we leave for spring break and we don't come back. Maybe what's one thing the Lord's kind of shown you or taught you or strengthened you in? Because I know that when things get uncomfortable, all of a sudden our spiritual antennas go up a little bit, and we're kind of more attuned to maybe what the Lord's trying to show us or teach us. So anything come to mind?
The other day, I mean, like I read this like article, and it said that like the main thing that stuck out was God's gonna always put something in your life that you can handle. And so I definitely feel like, and obviously like, people were saying during quarantine, like, he's in control, he's got it, and, I didn't, like, lots of people, I guess, didn't realize that, well, God's doing this, obviously, for a reason. And so, I definitely learned from that, and that, he's always right there beside you, and he's just,
Yeah, and so what you're clinging to is those two promises, the fact that he'll never leave us nor forsake us, and that he's working all these things out for our good, right? And so it's easy to remember that when things feel good.
Yes.
And when we are surrounded by other people and we don't feel that loneliness. But I think you cling to those promises all the more when you're in seasons like that. Okay, so just as far as like opened doors. So did you imagine you would be the commissioner of student activities?
I actually didn't, because whenever because there was 2 meetings, and it was in January, and they had the first meeting, and I guess people realized I wasn't there, and I guess I should have been there. So people were like, you really should sign up. I mean, I think you should do it. And it was countless of people, and like just telling me, and I was like, I mean, why not? And I mean, I definitely prayed about it, and I just, I was, and it definitely was nerve-wracking because that's such a big step. I mean, but, I feel like God definitely opened a door for me to be CSA. And I'm so glad he did because it's just the best.
What would you say to the student who's watching and is like, I don't feel like God's opening any doors for me? I mean, you obviously didn't think this door was opened until people started coming to you, right? You weren't actively seeking it out. So what's maybe a word of encouragement for somebody who's in that position?
I definitely feel like, this was something new for me, CSA, and just signing up to be a nominee for student council. It was new. So my word of encouragement is just to try new things, and don't be afraid to try new things. Put yourself out there, and it won't hurt to. You might fail, may win, who knows?
Yeah. Hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take,
exactly.
Isn't that right?
Michael Scott.
Oh man, office quote. Okay. Any last words of encouragement before we wrap this up? Anything you would just say, maybe to the person who they're kind of indifferent towards student activities, if you will. Just a word of encouragement. Hey, why you're excited about this year, what you're looking forward to, things like that.
My first thing I'm gonna say is I definitely want to make it as fun as I can, and I want it to be a good senior year for what we have or what we do have. So I definitely want involvement and just people to stick with us and hold on. And I just think just steal what I said a second ago. Try new things. Don't be afraid, and just.
I think that's good.
Just be involved. Get in there.
Well, and what you're saying is it's not a one-man show. Mm-hmm. Like if we're gonna have some awesome student activities, it requires all of us, faculty included. We gotta get excited about this stuff too. So, Jack, I appreciate it. We're excited about this year. We're excited about following your leadership and seeing what the Lord does through it. And just by way of encouragement, as we wrap this up, I want to remind everybody to subscribe. Not only is Jack a subscriber, but he's left us multiple 5-star reviews across all our platforms. So if you want to leave us a 5-star review as well, feel free to do it. But we appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us today, and we hope to see you again soon here at the Briarcrest Christian Schools Student Ministry Podcast. Boom.